When people don't express themselves, they die, one piece at a time. This quote from Lori Halsey Anderson's Speak encapsulates what many of her works encourage young adults to do. This request being for her readers to speak out and share their voice with others to solve complex and unique problems that their age range may face. This motif is continued in the very foundations of her most controversial works and is a major theme expressed throughout Speak. Anderson was born in Postham, New York, but later relocated to Washington, D.C. to attend Georgetown University. In her early professional career, Anderson was a freelance reporter that wrote for a variety of magazines and news sources, such as the Philadelphia Inquirer. Eventually, she began to write and publish children's books in 1996. However, in 1999, she would release the first edition of her most controversial and influential work, titled Speak. This work would go on to have a major impact on young adult literature, as the subject material covered in the book was not considered appropriate for kids. Even through these struggles, Speak continues to be taught in contemporary classrooms and helps to provide a voice for those who need it. Anderson has continued to write influential works, even releasing a sequel to Speak titled Shout. Anderson has also went on to receive many awards for her writings, some of them including the Margaret A. Edwards Award, the Intellectual Freedom Award, the Allen Award, and has also been a finalist for the National Book Award in Young Adult Literature. Today, Anderson is acknowledged as a prominent figure of young adult literature and is a strong advocate for mental health in young adults. With all these titles and awards, one might ask, what made Speak so controversial? Speak was born from a dream. The original concept for Speak was drawn from a dream that Anderson had about a young girl who was screaming for help. The book follows a high school freshman named Melinda. Most of her friends from middle school have joined different cliques that have formed in her new high school, and Melinda is considered an outcast from these groups due to an accident that happens the summer before her freshman year. The reader eventually finds out that Melinda was pushed away by everyone because she called the police on a party after she was sexually assaulted. This causes Melinda to spend most of the work in complete silence while the reader is immersed in her inner thoughts. Eventually, Melinda finds the courage to speak about her issues and share her story with other students and faculty. Many people stated that sexual assault and bullying, which are prominently expressed throughout the work, should not be included in a book meant for young adults. This led to the book being heavily contested, as many people tried to remove it from school library shelves. Speak, however, it is featured on the American Library Association's Top 10 Most Challenged Book list for 2020. This highlights the struggle that authors like Anderson and many others still face in recent years. Through these events, Anderson became a natural advocate against censorship in schools. In the 20th anniversary edition of Speak, Anderson commented on these censorship issues in a new section of the book titled A Comment About Censorship. In this section, Anderson states that the only way adolescents can learn about the unique challenges that their age group face is by reading and talking about books that contain them. She finishes her statement by saying that parents, educators, and librarians must be brave and share these works with young adults so they can read and learn about themselves at a time when both the world and their bodies are rapidly changing. This means that as educators and librarians, we must advocate for books like Speak, even during challenges from parents and administration, so students can form their own voice to speak with. This leads to the question, how may we promote and attest to the longevity of this work? Finally, I want to speak on why I think this book has stood the test of time in and out of schools for young readers. I have concluded that through her connections to her readers and a deep understanding of adolescent problems and emotions, Anderson has the ability to write books that are relevant and relatable for her young adult audience. Anderson characterizes this sentiment in this short interview.
That teenagers don't read, it's that teenagers don't like to read boring books, and nor should they have to. I think a great deal of the illiteracy we have in this country is a direct result of children being force-fed books that do not relate to them. And they come to view books as something ugly and shameful and horrible instead of enlightening and wonderful. So I'm very proud that my book has become a standard in curriculum across the country. Didn't anticipate it at all. Kind of took me aback, took me a little while to make sense of this. And then when they put the book in curriculum, people started to invite me to visit their schools. And in the past decade, I've visited about 500,000 high school students. And I've talked to them. More importantly, I've listened to them. And they've had the courage and the integrity to talk to me.
I believe that Anderson's ability to understand the unique struggles of an adolescent has allowed so many readers to connect to her works. In turn, this has allowed her readers to live through her stories and come out of her books with a better understanding of their issues and an empathy for problems that other young adults may face. Through this honesty that is conveyed in her works, Anderson has created books that, although heavily contested, have made connections with thousands of readers throughout the world. Through relatable subject matter and great attention to what young adults may be feeling about those situations, Anderson has solidified herself as an author that listens and cares about her readers so she can continuously adapt her content to make it even more immersive for readers of today and tomorrow.